Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Wearparts Studio. This is Mark, and I've got with me today, joining me today is Eric Derry from our customer care team. And what we want to drill down into today is our John Deere planting and grain drill seed openers. We've got a vast variety here of the assemblies, and then also your 18-inch drill opener here. So tell us, Derek, what's so special about these seed openers?
Well, let's start out with the basics. What we start out with the base blade. This is an excellent example here. So what we're starting out with is a high quality steel blade. This is a Forges de Niaux blade, the Niaux 200 heat treat process. So that process is a 3-zone heat treat. See right here the different colors? Those designate different areas of hardness for this blade. In the center we have the lowest hardness. That's a 48 to 50 Rockwell C. That allows for greater flexibility in the center to reduce breakout around the middle. In between this middle section here, we increase that hardness 50 to 55 Rockwell C. That gives it that durability and that strength to hold up, keep it from warping, make sure it's running straight. Then when you get out to the edge, we up the hardness again even more, get into the 55 to 58 range Rockwell C. So out here on this edge, it's going to be real hard, so it's going to wear longer, it's going to stay sharper longer, and really going to make that blade last a long, long time.
That's good. And not only that, just the initial quality of it, the edge is nice and sharp, and then the bevel, the length of the bevel, which is really important. I think on that particular blade, we just look here quick, the length of that bevel is 1 inch. So it's significant, it's measurably longer than the bevel on other brands. We sell a ton of that blade. There's customers that say, hey, give me those forged blades.
Right.
So
yeah,
this
in particular, this is the John Deere drill. It's the 18-inch blade. It's got the 4-bolt pattern on it, so it'll bolt right onto your machine just the way it is.
That's good. So that's an overview of the blade that's used in our seed openers. So that's again the 18-incher, but then we also have all these 15-inch options, and again that blade quality is all the same. So tell us a little bit about the different options that we have for your John Deere planters on the seed opener assemblies.
Well, when you start looking at your XP planters, all those are going to be the double bearing style. So you're going to have 2 rows of bearings in that. Let's take a little step back here, though. Let's look at what when you get that planter the first time, and when the OEM sends it to you. Take a close look at those blades and look at some of the differences between them. This is a very good example of an original equipment blade. If you look closely, I think you might be able to see that there is a difference in the thickness of that housing between this one and this one here.
Actually, if you just spin that, if you can see here, our housing thickness down there is 5/16, and the OEM housing is more like, it looks like about 3/16 without measuring it.
Another thing to look at too, spin that blade around also. Look at those rivets. Look at the size of those rivets right there. These are a 1/4-inch rivet. That is a 5/16 rivet. Much heavier rivet. It's gonna hold tighter, give you more grip on there, and keep that from pulling loose and having that bearing, that housing eventually work loose from the blade.
One other thing that you can't see without cutting it away, Eric, is how the machining on our housing, both the back side of the housing and the core of it are machined, the X and Y axes. And so what that gives you is a truer running blade. Both our wobble is 50 thou and under, and our lope is 60 thou and under. It's the best in the industry.
And how we control that is we do our own assembly in our plant in Gothenburg. And every blade that we assemble, we run through a laser test measurement machine to check that wobble and that lope, make sure that they're falling within our parameters, not necessarily the OEM's, ours. If they don't pass, they're not going out the door.
So we can actually guarantee that they run true. They're guaranteed true. It's a peace of mind for the farmer. He can buy these blades from the dealer, and he knows that he's not going to have to return half of them. He's going to be able to put them on his machine. He's going to be able to save half of his time on the install with the shimming. All of these blades running true. He's going to save tons of time, less headache for the dealer. He doesn't have to get these blades back from his customer and then return them back to the OEM. So hassle-free, and they're guaranteed true. They're guaranteed true. So we've got the this one here again. This is our MD housing, maximum duty. It's running a double row bearing, and then we step up from there. We go into this this particular housing sub-assembly here. This is another option for the XP row unit. You can see it's running a 205 double row, so it's bigger. It's bigger and better and badder. And 5/16 rivets, again, machined housing,
right.
Both on the back side and down through the middle. So that gives that contact of that bearing, the outer race of that bearing is contacting that housing all the way from the front to the back.
And over here, we've got one step even higher. This is actually a cast housing. So you have a even more rigid housing, one that's not going to flex, it's not going to move once that thing's bolted on and riveted on. It's going to stay right where it is. This is probably our top end here with the cast housing. So we have 3 different levels, and our entry level is still a step above what you can find other places.
As well as the run out on these, just it's much better than the competition. What's that blade over there with that cast housing?
This cast housing, this is actually a low profile. If you this is still the same 15-inch blade. It will work on XP row units, but this is typically used in areas that have a lot closer row spacing. Crops like cotton would be a prime example.
So like a twin row setup?
Yep, a twin row running very close together, where you don't have as much clearance. So you have that option for a low profile housing. Just so you know that our base rubber caps and are also included with the blade.
Right. Okay. So the dust cap comes with the blade,
correct?
As an assembly on the rubber dust caps. We do have some customers that request a steel dust cap. Those I think are.
That's going to be a little bit of an upgrade.
Gotcha.
Right.
What about that blade over there, Eric?
Right here. This is for some of the older planters, like the Max Emerge style. This is a single row bearing, but we still have a very controlled process of assembly, so you're still going to get the same benefits. This will just fit a different older style planters.
The Max Emerge row units.
The Max Emerge row units, yes.
Yeah, that's. I mean, back in running those 40/20s and with those 6-row planters on 36-inch row centers, that's going to be your seed opener for that. But again, the top quality Forges de Niaux seed opener blade with the harder edge. That harder edge, you know, one of the things that people worry about, you know, oh, is it going to break more? Is it more brittle? It actually withstands rocky conditions better. It doesn't chip out and bend and break like some of the other brands out there that are running lower Rockwell.
And that's a good that's a function really of that graduated heat treat process. So you do have the hard edge, but you've still got that flexibility. So if you do hit something, it does have a little bit of give to it that's going to be able to come back.
That's good. It's good. Well, thank you everyone. That wraps up our John Deere seed opener assembly lineup. Again, these are guaranteed true. We stand behind them. Any questions, concerns, or to place an order, or just to chat with our team, call us at 888-4BLADES. Thank you and good afternoon.